It has been a year of conflict on the Busch Grand National Circuit. In addition to battling each other, drivers have fought off the heat, the rain, the racetracks. But on this final day of the season, one of these three men will bank over $100,000 in season-ending bonuses and be declared the 1992 NASCAR Busch Grand National champion. TNN Motorsport proudly presents live exclusive coverage of the Pantry 500 from Hickory Motor Speedway in North Carolina. This track that was scene of a crash fest back in April becomes the setting for the title bout for the Busch Grand National Championship. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Joy. With me once again, Neil Bonnet. Neil, what an interesting set of circumstances. Two drivers within 100 points, the challenge for the crown, and it all comes down to this tough third-mile oval.
I tell you, they got their work cut out for him, Mike. Joe Nemechek has had a great season. He has to. He's been leading in the points. But it hasn't been that way all season long. About mid-season, they were out of money. They couldn't even continue running the race. He ends up winning at Nazareth. It gives him a little bit more money to go racing. All of a sudden, he's back in the picture. But the thing he's got to be concerned with today is finishing on this tough racetrack. He needs to survive. It's hard to do here, Mike. It's not going to be easy to finish up front.
Nemechek carries a 33-point lead here to Hickory. Let's find out his pre-race strategy from Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, I'm standing here with Joe Nemechek. He's awfully relaxed for a guy with all that stuff on the line in front of him. And, Joe, hard to avoid things on a racetrack like this. What's your strategy today?
Well, we're going to start out, just kind of hang in there and see what happens. Let everybody get spread out and find out what they want to do. And we definitely have a car that's capable of going to the front. We ran good when we tested here, and we qualified 8th. Had a little practice here a little while ago. Car's awesome. I mean, awesome. We're ready to go to the front and hopefully win this race.
Are you nervous?
Well, just before any race, you know, you get your adrenaline pumping and stuff, and as soon as I get bolted in the car and they say start your engines, that stuff's gone.
Okay, good luck, Joe.
Down in turn one, there are the point leaders side by side. Bobby Dotter now inside of Joe Nemechek as Todd Bodine has moved up a notch. Bobby Labonte up ahead of them. Up toward the front, Gordon leads, and the Bound brothers are going at it for second with Bobby Labonte. Nemechek, the point leader. If the race ended right now, he would be the champion. Nemechek has spun at turn 4. Lights up the tires. Ricky Craven climbs up on the back of Tommy Houston, and everybody else gets through.
Well, let me tell you, the thing he didn't need was damage. If he damages that race car, he really damages his chance for the championship. He's lucky he didn't get hit. And
no caution.
No caution. Boy, that's really going to cost Nemechek.
Both Nemechek and Craven. Actually, Joe just flat spotted the tire, but Ricky Craven may have suffered quite a bit of damage when he climbed up on Tommy Houston's car. He stayed green. Nemechek holding down a top 10 spot here, although he lost 4 positions on that move.
I did notice one thing, though. When Nemechek spun, he kept the tires moving instead of locking them up. I don't think he flat spotted them.
Good point. Ricky Craven's car is in trouble, however, and he is going to have to stop.
I'll tell you what that spin did for Labonte. Bobby Labonte, he can see Nemechek now. He can see Nemechek on the same straightaway, and he'll probably go all out to put him a lap down if he can.
Let's have a look and see what happened. Here coming out of turn 4 from our speed shot camera. There's Nemechek at the top of your screen.
Serious trouble right there. He was real lucky. You see the rear tire still moving on that car. He's getting himself in position to go ahead. And he was real lucky. Everybody think, there we go. Great camera work.
Turns the car around, cranks it left.
Now you'll see Craven come in here. There's Houston. A little further. There goes Ricky Craven. He's already climbed up on Tommy Houston's car.
What happened to Craven? The 19 car got into the back of it.
Nemechek has dropped to 16th position. If the race ended now, Bobby Labonte would be the series champion by a good margin over Nemechek and Bodine. Rick, trouble in 3.
Ooh.
And Nemechek got hit as 4 cars go flying. But Nemechek was able to continue.
Look at Tommy Ellis up on top of the front of the Craven car.
That's where he just landed. He just came down on top of him.
There are very few one-car spins at a place like Hickory.
Boy, here's the thing. Nemechek sustained a lot of damage in that wreck. Let's go down to Glenn, please.
Well, Neil, he has the car took an awfully hard hit on the left rear. They brought it in to change the left rear tires 2 laps before this. He brought the car back in just now to double check everything. They seem to have gotten everything off the tire. Nothing seems to be rubbing, and the track bar is not bent. Joe Nemechek is just ready to instant everything is okay, so they made another chassis adjustment. He's going to try it again. While I was down here, while I was talking, I checked with Vic Kangas, crew chief, on Joe Nemechek. I asked him, I said, what's the tire rule today? They have already used up their allotted tires. They only had 2 rights and 2 lefts given to them by NASCAR. They could change under caution. But since they flat spotted the right side tires in that spin, NASCAR is going to give them 2 more right sides, so he can make another right side tire change.
Mike, I wonder what Glenn's doing in his spare time. He's interviewed 5 cars in the last minute and checked on all the tires. We're keeping him hopping on the short track.
That and selling cars.
That's right. I tell you, though, that's a good call by NASCAR. When they do take in consideration that you're involved in an accident, it waives the rule on those particular tires. But, I mean, you got to show them that thing is flat spotted. You're not going to go out there and smoke a tire and come in and climb them out of 2 free ones. You've got to show the damage.
Look at that, Neil. Dennis Setzer is on the outside, and Nemechek wanting to go, but what can he do? The racetrack's only accommodating 2 cars right now. Up, big spin, right?
And everybody's in it. Nemechek hard on the brakes. He gets by.
Yeah,
A lot of damage, though.
Spencer and Setzer. Then Steve Grissom trying to race back to the flag, piles into Chuck Bound. Both cars get through, and that's Dennis Setzer in the other Bill Davis car, rubbing everything on the rear end. 9th caution, lap 185, and Joe Nemechek has another close call.
No, he's got more than a close call. He's got a lot of front end damage on his car. Nemechek does.
Yeah, it looks like it might be something they're going to have to do a lot of work on. He just worked himself back up in position where he was still in contention for the lead for the championship, but now this is going to hurt him.
There's Nemechek's car damaged to the left rear and the right front corner.
I'm like you, buddy. What concern is his right front damage. We'll get a look at it. We'll try to tell what he's got.
Just push back in on the right front wheel there. You see right on the top of the wheel there, that's a big problem. They got to do some work on that.
Pit road not yet open. Glenn Jarrett is in Nemechek's pit waiting for that car to come in. We'll go to him then. And Spencer and Nemechek get together a little bit.
That was the case where Nemechek was shaking his car around to see what it felt like. Beth Spencer's going to go up there and repay him.
Oh, man.
They're just beating and banging on each other on the caution.
Pit road will open this time around.
You know, we go to super speedways, these things look like airplanes, aerodynamics. They come to here, they look like battleships. They just build them where they'll take a beat now when it comes to short track stuff.
The 2 leaders have pitted. Dotter and Labonte are in. So is Todd Bodine. So every driver involved in this championship is on pit road, but the one who may stay there the longest is Nemechek. Chuck Bound is also in. Glenn is down in Joe Nemechek's pit.
Well, Mike, Joe has brought the car in. There is damage on the right side. As Buddy said, they're pulling that fender off the tire right now. Jimmy Spencer came up and gave Joe a shot under caution there. I guess he was angry about what happened. NASCAR official Steve Keith came over and told Joe's brother John that they were going to park Jimmy Spencer for that incident. So number 20 is going to be set down for the rest of the day. They got the fender off the tire. He appears to be okay. That car is battered and beaten, but it's still running. Bobby Labonte is still in. He's getting 4 tires. Good stop for him. They changed all 4 tires. As Neil had said, he had not changed any, so he's on fresh rubber the rest of the way. Only 113 laps left. This is Bobby Labonte's race.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened down there in the corner.
NASCAR just set a 5-lap penalty to the 20 car of Jimmy Spencer.
Looked like Spencer and the 4 car got together coming up off the corner. There goes Spencer down the inside. Look at Nemechek. He got into the rear of the car. Did a lot of damage.
Let's see if somebody turned Dennis Setzer, though, to key that off. That's Kenny Wallace right behind Setzer. No. He and Jimmy Spencer were the cars involved.
Well, I see why Spencer was mad, but it was nothing Nemechek could do. He got sideways, and Nemechek hit him, and it started that reaction there. But still in all, he shouldn't be mad at Joe.
Look at this right here. 3, they're crawling all over each other. 3 abreast just banging through the middle of the field there. 4 cars smoking terrible on the inside.
And here, afterwards, under caution.
Okay, Nemechek cleaned his tires right there. Runs over into the 20 car, and then
A little love tap.
on down the straightaway there, the 20 come back and was cleaning his tires and bumped into him a little bit. So.
Purely accidental.
Spencer has been penalized. He's still sitting on pit road.
Glenn Jarrett?
fast down here that I can't keep track of. But we do know Joe Nemechek's car seems to be okay. He has fresh right side tires. Bobby Labonte has fresh rubber all the way around. Joe beat Bobby out of the pit, so there's only one position separating them right now. I don't know what's going to happen next.
Oh, and Nemechek gets turned around off the front of Spencer's car.
Spencer's moving again.
Caution is out. But,
Nemechek's cars, I'm sorry, got going. He didn't lose a lap.
Man.
He may have thought he had Spencer cleared as he came down the racetrack.
More front end damage.
Not sure on that one. Spencer was not really quite up to speed. Tommy Houston had given Spencer a wrap. Let's have a look at it. And Nemechek might have thought he had him cleared here.
Really got together going in that first turn.
Nemechek got it right back in gear and got going again. And the black flag is out for Tommy Ellis. Or excuse me,
Spencer.
I'm so used to saying that.
Yep.
The black flag is out for Jimmy Spencer. Sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, we just had a man walk to the window here from NASCAR and say, that's it, he's out.
Yeah, we're told he'll be given the thumb, and that Spencer will be ejected from the race. Again, the drivers' meeting. You know, anytime a championship gets close, they always tell the drivers, you got 3 guys out here running for the title. Run your race, run to win. Try to give those guys a little room so they can battle for that championship themselves. And now in the pits, Nemechek, Grissom, Jeff Gordon, Tommy Ellis in relief of Robert Presley and Chuck Bound. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, once again, we're in Joe Nemechek's pit, and I've tried to keep an open-minded view of this, but I was looking right at that incident. Spencer waited on him. He waited till Joe got beside of him, and he turned right into him. They're working on the right front of the car right now. There doesn't appear to be too much damage that they can't repair. The car is in shambles. He's down his lane. But again, they had to change right side tires. It's just, it's been one of those kind of days for Joe Nemechek, but by gosh, they're still out there trying.
And Spencer got a bit of it there with the right front.
Spencer making a motion to the flagman there. There's a replay going down in the corner.
See, Tommy Houston gives Spencer the boot there.
Ooh. Boy, awful wide down in there. It's,
yep.
You know, if they hadn't have had that confrontation of caution before, you might leave a little more gap in there for questioning. And I think NASCAR's call was probably because it was 2 times in a row those 2 cars got together. There's Spencer down the inside. NASCAR's holding him at the end of pit road. But they said they were going to park him, not penalize laps, so we just have to see what happens.
You know, if I was Nemechek's crew, I believe I'd bring him back in and work on that right front corner. That fender's torn in half, you know. This may create a problem when he gets back up to full speed.
Well, he can afford to give away the track position and do that, buddy. Although Joe is the 5th, or right there, 6th place car. We're carrying 12 cars now on the lead lap. He is pitting. Kenny Wallace and Dale Jarrett, a caution ago, did get back on the lead lap.
Here they are. They're back in there. Just like Buddy said, they've got enough damage. They need to. They're going to let him put tires on the car because he did spin. You know, no doubt, probably flat spotted the tires. It's a bad thing to happen, but you know, he said he was out of tires for 4 down. He's putting 4 on, so they gave him that option, I guess, to go with new tires since he did spin.
90 laps to go in the Busch Grand National Series season. All 3-point contenders still on the lead lap. Bobby Labonte in the lead of both the race and the point chase right now. They were about to restart this race. Jimmy Spencer tried to return to the racetrack, was denied that opportunity by the Busch Grand National officials. Glenn Jarrett is down in the Dick Moroso pit.
Well, Mike, Jimmy Spencer has climbed from the car. Jimmy, what's going on?
Well, you know, Glenn, I'll tell you something. We ran real well there and got bumped in the back. Got spun out, and I'll tell you something. I hated what happened there. Somebody let somebody come out of the pits there, and, you know, I don't know who I run into, but I sure the heck didn't mean it. But NASCAR thought it was my fault. They penalized me. My car owner decided to park the car, but, you know, Daly's first day people have been great to me all year long. I really think we had a shot at winning this race. Looking forward to next year.
Well, that's the version from the driver's point of view in car number 20.
There's the replay. You can see Tommy Houston into the back of Spencer, who then gets going again. And into Joe Nemechek. I think Spencer was describing the previous incident.
You know, we overlooked, look at Chuck Bound up there in the wall. We overlooked that. Chuck's been running exceptionally well in this race, and he got involved in that accident too, really hurt him.
Chuck Chuck, one of several drivers trying to end their season with a victory. Let's have another look at what Jimmy Spencer spoke of, and Buddy mentioned a minute ago. We were focusing on the Spencer and Nemechek cars when that happened under caution. And we're going to get another look here.
Okay.
Now, there's Tommy Houston.
You see Spencer down on the bottom here. He's giving everybody racing room, it looks like. Here comes Nemechek on the outside. They start down in the corner. Now you'll see a car coming out of the pits right down here on the bottom.
Yep.
Right there. Right next to the post. He moved up thinking that car was going to move into the lane. So really, a lot of times what looks like a real bad thing is not that way.
As we mentioned, Jimmy Spencer is out of the race. At lap 234, we have 66 to go.
Mike, that's what it's hard to understand about racing. It's not like a lot of other sports where if you dribble the ball out of bounds, you throw it back in and say, I'm sorry, and you go back the other direction, or you make a mistake. When you make a mistake here, it tears up a lot of sheet metal and stuff, and it's really costly. When things like that happen, it's bad, but it's just hard for me to imagine it was done intentionally. I'm sure there's a lot of people mad about it and everything, but it's two guys that know. That's Spencer and Nemechek, and they're both welcome to their thoughts.
32 laps left in the Busch Grand National season. They're all chasing Bobby Labonte. He has done everything he's had to do today to try and win this championship. Joe Nemechek is still running in 8th place, just behind Chuck Bound and Mike Wallace.
We see him right there, Mike. He gets the nose up under the 63 car, Chuck Bound. A couple of times he's been about 2 foot up beside him, but not enough to totally clear him. He's almost got this car a couple times. He couldn't quite get by.
Now, we mentioned Todd Bodine. If Bodine can win this race, Nemechek has to finish 21st or worse, and Labonte 10th or worse. That's very unlikely. 5 points would be the difference if the race ended right now. 30 laps. That's all that's left. Side by side in the backstretch. They will get the Mike Wallace car up on the outside. Barry Owens High Point betting car. An FDP brakes machine. Way up high, and there goes Nemechek gaining 3 very important points.
Just looking ahead, Mike, there's not enough cars. We just saw these 2 cars pick off a position. It's going to take a lot for these 2 to run down another. I think it's going to take Nemechek being able to pass Chuck Bound to be able to pull it off.
I'm afraid you're right, Neil. They are not going to catch Jim Bound in the next 27 laps, it appears. And right now, Nemechek is 1 point shy of Bobby Labonte. The race ended at this moment.
1 point?
Yes.
Holy mackerel.
And when we say it's going to take this, take that, we're not pulling for either one. We're just trying to make you're aware of what it's going to take for these guys to do it, because certainly both of these drivers have run well enough this year to deserve the championship.
Bobby Labonte in a team run by his dad. And this team, though Bobby is likely to move to Winston Cup Racing next season, this team will continue with a different driver. Trying to win back-to-back championships. Sam Ard did it in 83 and 84. Larry Pearson in 86 and 87. The only drivers to win 2 consecutive championships on this tour. Labonte lapping Tom Peck.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he's coming up to lap Nemechek here shortly. While Nemechek has been back in this traffic, Labonte's had a clear run at it, and they're almost on the same straightaway now. They are on the same straightaway.
22 laps to go this time by.
You may tell you a scenario that might happen here, and it'd be unbelievable. When he gets up there, Labonte's car is so good. If he can get by Nemechek and then move the 63 over to pass him, Nemechek can take the pass with him.
Take the title.
And take the title. He's running so fast he can run these 2 guys down, and he might be the guy that beats himself if he's not careful.
All right, there's Nemechek. Right behind Chuck Bound. 21 laps to go. And we'll come back here to find Bobby Labonte coming off turn number 4. There's Kenny Wallace, Tommy Ellis in the Presley car, and there's Bobby Labonte.
You know the bad part? They're up here telling him that 44 car's coming to lap you. The spotter up here is telling him you got to get on it. He's doing everything he can to get by Chuck Bound, but he just cannot get under it.
The only way he might keep Nemechek back there is if he can lap those 2 cars on the outside.
Mike, it's almost going to have to be his move. I'm telling you, if I was Nemechek, I'd almost move over and give Labonte the inside line and just move over to Labonte, have the inside, and make him try to pass Chuck Bound on the inside. And if he does, he can follow him through there. But, you know, we're playing up here armchair quarterback. It's easy to do.
All right, you're riding with Kenny Wallace. You're right, Neil. If Bobby goes underneath Joe Nemechek, he will open the door for Nemechek to pass Chuck Bound and slam the door on Bobby's championship hole.
You two guys got me nervous. I can't stay in my chair up here.
So here we see Labonte back here trying to get around to 36. When these other two cars are running, there's Nemechek, got a good run up on the inside, underbound, but he couldn't clear him.
16 laps to go in this season.
There he is. He's up beside him right here. Lap traffic.
Ooh, squeeze on Tracy Leslie. Nemechek gains nothing.
Oh,
And around goes Kenny Wallace. Bobby Labonte shoots around and misses him. Caution flag.
Caution flag. Ooh.
And that caution flag, though it keeps Nemechek on the lead lap, may have been a bigger break for Bobby Labonte than it was for Joe.
You're exactly right, Mike. He was fixing to have to deal with the situation we were just talking about. He was coming so hard, he was going to have to try to go outside, not to give the thing away. It was building into a deal that he really had to deal with and not know properly how to handle the situation.
Nemechek will have to check scoring. He may have beaten Chuck Bound back to the flag. We will double check that with scoring. What a cliffhanger. Scoring is reporting that Nemechek beat Bound to the flag to move up into that all-important 6th spot. Let's have another look here.
Here they are. They're coming up off the corner right here. There's a lick behind them. There's Nemechek to the inside.
Yep. Bobby got into Kenny Wallace.
Yep. We didn't see the run to the line. Maybe we got another shot. Here we go. This way, maybe we can tell who beats back to the line. Contact's going to be, here they are right here. Here's Nemechek on the inside. Gosh, there's going to be a call by NASCAR. Who was leading?
Very close. Very close.
Boy, Labonte has run a tremendous race for it to come down to a deal like it was a while ago. It might be a good thing, like you say, Mike, that it ended like this. Other than the fact that in case he did beat him line, that's going to put Nemechek in position to pass him. Boy, Labonte has been so good on these restarts. He just takes off, leaves the field.
Yep.
Here he goes with a big jump again. Butch Miller was laid back some. But didn't get a real good start. Puts Kenny Wallace in between them.
But in Butch's defense, neither is anybody all day.
You're
when
right.
Bobby Labonte's been in the lead. He's got one of those Richie Evans restarts going.
Or Dale Earnhardt restart.
Right.
Nemechek is out front of the season 3 car right back in the shot here.
He's in 6th place, which would give him the championship by 3. 10 laps to go.
Boy, I tell you, look at Labonte here. They did just exactly what they had to do. They just bear down and run away with the race here. And then still, to win like this and still have that championship get away is going to be tough on him.
Joe Nemechek is coming. 6th place, right where he needs to be.
This is when it's kind of hard to throttle a guy down. He's got the championship, but he's wanting to pass Mark Martin. He's going to have to be careful.
I believe I'd have to set this one out and pass him. He's done what he needed to do, so did the 44 car. But Nemechek's very lucky to be in position to win the championship after all the stuff happened to him.
2 laps to go in the 1992 season. Bobby Labonte has done everything he can to win the race and the championship. White flag for the Texas Pete car. Here comes Nemechek for the white flag. Tacked onto the back bumper of Mark Martin. Labonte into turn number 3. Coming out of 4, he will win his 3rd race of the season. And the battle out of 4 to the line. Mark Martin leads Joe Nemechek to his Busch Grand National Championship by an unofficial 3 points.
Well, there's bedlam here. Radio people are here. Joe's getting hugs from everybody involved. And Joe, I don't want to get too close to the car here. I don't want to tear my pants, but what a great job. I'm telling you, you had to come back from all kind of adversity.
Well, the last 15 laps after that caution, when I got Chuck, something happened to the right front, and you could hear it grinding up there, and I just come on, and then at the end I thought I could pass Mark, and Mark was running his best. I mean, he wasn't going to let me go by, and you know, Texas Pete, Lazito Pharmacy Chevrolet, all the other people that stuck with me this year, we did it. You know, this is I'm honored to be the champion, and I hope I can be a good champion next year.
Well, tell me, when all these things started going wrong, did you ever think that, oh man, this is just not my day?
I couldn't believe it. You know, the car was real good at the start, and I just kind of had to hold my own pace, and then all of a sudden I spun out, and I don't know if I had any help or not, and I just consider I lost it. You know, the car just got loose, and And then it was uphill. Then we started getting in accidents, bumping into people, and you know, it's unbelievable to be here right now.
Well, the thing about it, though, is that about midway through the season, financial situation didn't look all that good, and I know you told me that from that point on, it was about a race-to-race deal, but by golly, you put things together and turn things around in about the best way possible.
Well, it's just great. You know, Texas Pete has been in this series for 6 years now, and we won their first 2 races this year, had their pole position, and now we win the championship. And man, you can't do much better than that. I mean, the team, my crew chief, Vic Kangas, all my sponsors, everybody, you people backed me all year, and you're the ones that made it happen.
Well, now we're going to get one more person into this. Andrea, we want to get Andrea on camera. This is Joe's fiance, and what a wedding present. They're going to be married on November 21st in Lakeland, Florida.
Thank you very much.
I think these people are pretty happy, and let's let them celebrate a little while. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Woo! We did it!
Glenn, they're going to have about $100,000 in season-ending bonuses to help honeymoon with.
Mike, I hope that pharmacy's got plenty of tetanus shots because they're all going to need it walking around that race car. It's going to cut them all to pieces.
It's pretty well ripped up.